Howdy, and welcome to Book Your Give Here. We're Travel That Gives. I'm Lulu Lima, your chief travel guru. I hope this episode of Dream Now Travel Later inspires you to travel, and I invite you to give us the opportunity to help plan your next memorable trip. So grab your popcorn and enjoy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. As exciting as always, we've got another travel destination for you. Yay! This time around, it is Curacao! I can't believe how beautiful this island is, and I needed to share it with you. So with that, I have brought Chandra, who is my contact at the tourism board. She is the queen of this island, and she will be more than happy to share with you all of the amazing things because that I couldn't even put into words. So without further ado, Chandra, the floor is yours.
Well, buon tardi, contabay, that is papiamento, that is the language that we speak on the island. But remember, we speak many other languages. You know, Dutch is the official language, English and Spanish are widely spoken. So wherever you come from, doesn't matter. Even sign languages we will do so you can understand us. And thank you for this opportunity, Lulu.
Thank you for being here. It's so awesome. So let's talk a little bit about this beautiful island. First of all, our pronunciation, right? We don't want to say it wrong.
Okay, it is Curacao, not Curacao, or anything in between. So you know it's Curacao. That's how we pronounce it.
And it's so super awesome. So let's talk a little bit about where Curacao is, right? So Curacao is in the Caribbean Sea.
It's in the what we call the Dutch Caribbean, and we are part of the ABC Islands. A stands for a very famous island. She's my sister island, Aruba. The B is for Bonaire, you know, and we are just 20 minutes away. But today we are going to talk about Curacao. That's the sea you must see, and there's more to see at the sea than just the sea. How about that? Did you follow me what I was saying?
Oh, I love it. So let's talk a little bit about it. Obviously, we talked about you having the different languages and where you're located. You really are a tiny island, 171 square miles.
Yes, 160,000 people also. And something to remember is that because our location, we are not in the hurricane belt. We are in the outer fringes of the hurricane. So hurricane bypasses. So right now, you know, there has been 26 hurricanes already this year. Isn't that
It's
unbelievable?
insane.
But we do feel it. And the reason that we feel it when there are disturbances in the Caribbean is that it gets very hot because hurricane sucks all the air, the wind. But besides that, you do not have to make other plans if you're traveling because we will welcome you throughout the whole year.
And that's awesome. So we're going to be talking about a number of different towns on the island that you really should experience.
Well, the most famous one, of course, is the capital, Willemstad. It is a unique city, and a lot of people do know about Curacao when they take a cruise. And it's one of the most picturesque city in the Caribbean. I mean, if you look at the picture, you would think that it is somewhere in Europe, but it's Curacao in the Caribbean with 365 days, nice, beautiful weather.
And absolutely gorgeous and stunning. And you can see these views. I mean, they're absolutely amazing.
Take a look at this picture and you will really think it is Europe, somewhere in southern France or even Spain or Portugal. It gives you that look, but no way. It's unbelievable. It is my island, Curacao. We have 3 bridges, all named after previous queens of Holland, because we are part of the Dutch kingdom. We are Dutch citizens and we carry a Euro passport. See that bridge right there? That's the most famous one. It's Queen Emma Bridge, but it's also known as the swinging old lady. And the reason is because when you are walking on the bridge, it moves with you and you feel what is going on. It is because it floats. It keeps afloat on 16 pontoons. That it looks like little boats, and that keeps that bridge afloat. And when you're walking and you hear a siren and you see people running in both directions, don't be afraid. Nothing is happening. It's just a sign that the bridge is about to open for sea vessels to come into the harbor. And you don't want to get caught on the bridge because sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes 10, sometimes 20 minutes. But if you are a visitor, you have all the time. You can stay on the bridge and have it open up with you and bring you back. Now look at this picture. How can you not say it is an absolutely beautiful picture? It's a cruise ship going right smack through the city of Curacao.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And if you look at the architecture is, you've got that very European feel, but yet it's totally Caribbean.
Well, let me tell you something about our architecture. We are on the World Heritage List of UNESCO since 1979. It took a while for us to be on that list. This is the oldest Jewish synagogue in the Western Hemisphere in Curacao. And if you move to the next picture, Lulu, what you see there on the floor, it is sand. When they built the synagogue, they brought in sand from Israel, and it signifies the Jewish people being persecuted during the years when they were not allowed to get together for prayer service and to muffle their footsteps, because the first floor, that was the stores that they had, and the dwellings would be on the second floor. Right. And to muffle their footsteps, they would put sand on the floor. It also signifies the Jewish people wandering for 40 years in the desert, not knowing where to go. So it's the history that we have on the island.
And you have so much of that too. So not only can you guys get an amazing Caribbean vacation, but you can get so much history while going here. So, and you can see there's so much of it. There's different pieces of art that is local as well.
Definitely. If I can say something about this, we have the largest African Caribbean museum on the island. There is an ugly part to our history too, because the Dutch were in the slave trade. And going to Africa and returning with an empty ship, they were losing money. So they would bring human cargo. Curacao being part of the Dutch kingdom and having that natural harbor, they would stop in Curacao. And from there, all who would have survived that horrific passage would be fed, cleaned, and auctioned off. So there is a story to Curacao about that, but it's part of our history and we talk about it.
Yes, we do. And we talk about
this one, let me tell you this one, just to let you know. It's amazing the history that I can sit and tell you all about it this afternoon. Simon Bolivar, the liberator of South America, came to Curacao when he had to flee And he brought his two sisters on the island too. He was poor. He didn't have nothing. And we took him in, and a businessman gave him a place, a house to stay. And his sisters went to live at this particular place that you see. And it's still there, and it is also part of our history. Who would have believed that the liberator of South America we took in to live on the island?
You know, it's different nations working together for the greater good.
Certainly.
And so, I mean, and look at these houses. Look at the colors and everything else. Really, this is how people live today, and it's absolutely out of a picture book.
Well, we didn't do away with these, old homes. What we did, we restored them. And that is what took years and years and years. And because of that, having not bulldozed them, to make place for modern buildings, we got listed on the World Heritage List of UNESCO. Our cultural and natural heritage are both irreplaceable sources of life and inspiration. And it is an honor to also share it with the rest of the world. And all these beautiful, even if you're in Curacao for a couple of days, rent a car for one day and go out and explore and see these beautiful buildings, the colors, that there are. And it's so, as a Curaçaoan, I am honored, to walk around and show my friends and guests on the island what Curacao is all about.
And how easy is it to rent a car? Is it as easy
Very
as it is?
easy. Very easy. We drive on the right-hand side, so no problem with that. And it is a small island. But don't believe that you can do it just in one day. You need a little more time because there is so much to see, and to look at.
Yes, and definitely we want to make sure that you enjoy all of this the street art as well, because that is such a big part of the culture.
Definitely. The artists band together, and there's an area where you can walk. And it's right in town, and look at all these beautiful artwork that they have, and they also will walk along with you and talk to you and explain you about their art, and there are walking tours. It all depends when you Curacao what it is that you would like to do.
And it's absolutely gorgeous, and there's so much meaning behind all of it. So I love that we really talked about the moving I should say the living history, because and all of that art and that culture behind it, because there's so much. But now we're going to talk about all of the beaches and the diving. And so Curacao is amazing for diving. So if you're not PADI certified, we certainly can get you PADI certified, and you're going to find beautiful, beautiful beaches.
Many times they ask, but what's the difference between Aruba and Curacao? I will tell you.
Yes.
I don't have stretch beaches, but I have over 35 beaches. And as you can see from the picture, they are surrounded by cliffs, and they are inlets, bays, and the water is calm throughout the whole year. Curacao is an island for family. It's an island for honeymooners. And our beaches, there are different beaches, besides having 35 beaches, we classify them a little different. You have the public beach that you can just go park your car, go down to the beach, and you're there. Then you have the private beaches. That means that you have to pay a little per car to go in, or per person. And then you have the full service beaches where you can have a place where you can change your clothes. There is a bar, there is a restaurant, but it's all what you're looking at, what you're looking for, which beach you want to go to. And the water is absolutely crystal clear because, it rains very little, in that particular area. And because our location away from the hurricane belt, so we don't have hurricanes, but we don't have a lot of rain either. So there is no polluted water going to the ocean. So I would say we have 50 shades of blue, not gray.
I love it. 50 shades of blue. And as you can see on the map here, everything is outlined in terms of all of the places where you can go in Curacao. And you're going to have amazing opportunities because accommodation-wise, there's all types. There are some all-inclusives. You've got some bed and breakfast, boutique properties. You've got some nice apartments. So really, anything that you want, we can find for you.
Definitely. It all depends where you would like to be. Do you want to be on the east side of the island? Do you want to be on the west side of the island? Do you want to be closer to town at a hotel with the beach? We can do that. So it's not like it is just one stretch where you have all the hotels after each other. So you need to listen what it is that the clients would like to, and then match them with that particular hotel.
Exactly. And we will absolutely.
And villas, it's not only hotel, villas, bungalows. We offer it all.
Yes, and I do recommend those villas and bungalows. So, and as we're looking through all of these diving pictures, look at the beautiful wildlife that you're going to see when you go diving. And of course, the shipwrecks.
The shipwrecks you can have there, the different type of diving, shore dives, shipwrecks, drift dives, cave dives. We can offer it all. And there is where I am a little in competition with my sister B. Bonaire, but let's face it, it is the same water, we are in, it's just that it is a little different which island you want to go to.
And you can always do a day trip to Bonaire and stay in Curacao.
Definitely.
It's a quick little ferry ride away. So definitely some great opportunities.
And I say ferries, no, but
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We tried. I'll be telling you, and I'll be honest, but people will get so sick because of the rough waters out there when you are in the open ocean. So we stick to the airplanes. 20 minutes and you're there.
The seaplane. So yeah. I correct myself. I said ferries, but I meant seaplanes. How awesome is that? So let's talk about food. Because
I love to talk about food, because I'm a foodie. Because of the different cultures that we have on the island, our food is fantastic. Behind every dish, there is a story. And that is what Curacao is all about. There are many local restaurants. You can, if you are not in an all-inclusive, hotel, it doesn't matter if you go out and try something that is really local about the island. This particular dish we call keshi yena, means stuffed cheese. And it comes from the olden days that when the Dutch people would arrive on the island, the ships, the boats, after they have been on the water for months,
yes,
the cheese that they had with them would have some stuff growing around it, right?
Yes.
And mold. So they would cut it off and feed it to the slaves. The slaves, not never having enough to eat, will take that, add whatever they had that day, a little fish, a little chicken, to make it more tasty. And that has become a dish, an iconic dish on the island. It's only served for special occasions. So if you're in Curacao, try it. And of course, the fish.
Yes.
Who would be in the Caribbean not trying fried fish? If you're from the Caribbean, you have to love fish.
So, and there's so much, there's an abundance of just sea to table and farm to table options that you really will be eating as natural as possible.
And this is our pumpkin fritters. With the pumpkin, we are very creative,
Yes.
We will come up, with something that is tasty. So I will tell you, you cannot leave Curacao without trying something local, if it is like the local delicacies, kosdushi, something sweet that you see the vendors in town that they're selling it, but also there are sold in the supermarkets. Please stop by. And what can I tell you about my Curacao liqueur? It is the best. Who would have thought there was an island out there called Curacao? The people would drink it without realizing that the real thing comes from Curacao. The
Yes.
Spaniards were the first ones that were on the island, and they brought in, of course, their Valencia oranges.
Yes.
They were missing it. But because it didn't rain a lot, the orange over a few years changed completely.
Yes.
It was something that they couldn't eat. But in reality, the Spaniards were there looking for gold and silver. They didn't like the island. It was dry. Their oranges were, was not the real thing that they were looking for.
Yes.
So they got up and left us and called us Islas Inútiles, useless islands. But they left the orchards.
But they're far from useless.
They left the orchards and they were growing and growing, and nobody knew what to do with them until somebody was very innovative and used the peel of the orange, and out of there they extract an oil, and with very guarded family secrets they came up with the Curacao liqueur. The blue one, because it's blue, it is the most known and attractive, but it comes in all colors. You drink it, it kills all ills, and then you feel it.
Yes, and the triple sec is amazing. So, and so let's talk a little bit about, if you wanted to go to a distillery, you wanted to see it being made or things like that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can get a free try too. Yes, it's housed in an absolutely beautiful plantation home from the 17th century, and what can I tell you? Come on down.
Absolutely. You really want to make sure that you enjoy everything about Curacao. So it's a beautiful nature island.
Definitely. This is the highest peak. It's called St. Christopher. And on the day that there aren't too many clouds, you can see the coast of Venezuela. It is absolutely beautiful. You can hike it. You can do horseback riding. There are several trails that you can walk on to get to the top. In my younger days, we used to go climbing around 5 o'clock in the morning because it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to the top with flashlights. And then we would sit there and wait for the sun to come up. And then once the sun come up, we were ready to go to the beach and spend the day at the beach.
And it's so beautiful. Not only do you get to stay on the beach until sunset, but then you also get to see a lot of wildlife and everything. And so there's just so many activities and water sports galore that you guys really you'll have access to. So this island is, I would say for us, is still very exotic. It's a little untouched because, it's a place where we can go and have a really great time. We can connect with nature and just see all of these beautiful pieces.
I will say Curacao is still undiscovered and unspoiled.
Yes.
We want to go along with changes, but then do not too much to change all our characteristics, and personality. I mean, look at this, why sitting between four walls doing yoga? Get out, and do it on the water, something different to do.
And here you're socially distanced, so you don't have anything to worry about. Curacao has been amazing when it came to COVID. And so as the destination starts to open up to different destinations as well as Americans, there'll be some testing that'll be done. You'll wear your masks, but when you're social distance like this, you'll be able to enjoy life. And what an amazing way to do it. So with that,
I would like to say something about Dina Veres. Dina Veres has a herb plantation. She has studied the trees and herbs from the island, and then instead of using the Western medicine, she tells you what to use when you have had constant headaches or your hair is falling out. She learned the medicinal tradition of Curacao because there again, we didn't want it to disappear, because this is in reality what our foreparents, they were not the doctors that will give you a pill or anything. It was lotions and teas that you had to drink when you were feeling ill.
It's the old way.
The old way, and it is fun to go to her historical garden to learn about the old tradition that we still want to keep.
Absolutely, and I recommend it. And with that, you can easily not only learn about how to cure without having big pharma in your way, but also again how our ancestors used to do this stuff. So with that, Masha Danki,
we say in Papiamento, Masha Danki, and it comes, a little Dutch in there. The donkey is Dankje. And it has been a pleasure, today to be talking about my island, because, I'm so proud of Curacao. And I invite you to come down soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Sooner than later.
Absolutely. I can't wait for all of Americans to be able to go. I know that there are a number of different destinations that are starting to already prepare themselves to travel to Curacao. And as the borders open, we're definitely going to be there because this is a place not to miss. It should absolutely be on your bucket list.
Well, we just found out that American will start December 3rd. So here we go, flying to Curacao.
Yay! That is so awesome. So with that, guys, listen, let's start planning your trips because before you know it, the island is going to be hopping and we want to get there before it, becomes crowded. And so let's do the untouched nature. With that, I thank you, Chandra, so much for taking the time to come and share with us your beautiful island. I am beyond ecstatic and I can't wait to be on the first plane out there.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity, and we will be working together. And if you have questions, feel free to call me. My number is 1-800-328-7222.
Thank you so much. You guys all have a great day. And as you can see, I will be working with Chandra to make sure you guys have amazing itineraries. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye, yo.